There once lived in a sequestered part of the county of Devonshire a one Mr. Godfrey Nickleby, a worthy gentleman who took it into his head rather late in life that he must get married.
And not being young enough or rich enough to aspire to the hand of a lady of fortune, he wedded an old flame out of mere attachment.
Aww. Thus do people who cannot afford to play cards for money sometimes sit down to a quiet game for love.
At length, when Mrs. Nickleby presented her husband with a couple of sons, he found himself in a situation of distinctly shortened means.
Which was only relieved when, one fine morning, there arrived a black-bordered letter.
My uncle has died and left me the bulk of his fortune, amounting in all to £5,000.
And with a portion of this inheritance, Mr. Godfrey Nickleby purchased a small farm near Dawlish, also in Devonshire, and lived off the interest of the rest.
The farm prospered, so that on his death, some 15 years later, he was able to leave to his eldest son, Ralph Nickleby, £3,000 in cash, and to his younger Nicholas, £1,000, and the farm.
The younger boy was of a retiring disposition, keen only to attach himself to the quiet routine of country life.
The elder son, however, had commenced usury on a limited scale, even at school, and had now in adulthood resolved to live his life by the great moral
that riches are the only true source of happiness and power.
And while he prospered in the mercantile way in London, he quite forgot his reclusive brother.
He lives still in the farm.
And had taken himself a wife.
Who gave birth to a boy, Nicholas.
And a girl, Kate.
And by the time they were both nearing the age of 20, their father found his expenses much increased, and his capital still more depleted.
Speculate, his wife advised him. Think of your brother, Mr. Nickleby, and speculate.
Speculate, my dear?
Why not?
Because, my dear, if we should lose him, we will not be able to live, my dear.
Fiddlesticks. There's Nicholas, quite a young man. It's time he was making his way in the world. And Kate, too, poor girl, without a penny in the world. Think of your brother Ralph. Where would he be today if he hadn't speculated?
Very good, my dear. I will speculate, my dear.
And speculate he did.
But a mania prevailed.
The bubble burst.
4 stockbrokers took villa residences at Florence. 400 nobodies were ruined.
And one of them was
Mr. Nickleby.
The very house I lived in may be taken from me. Not an article of my old furniture will be sold to strangers.
And Mr. Nickleby took to his bed.
Apparently resolved to keep that, at all events.
Cheer up, sir, said the apothecary.
You mustn't allow yourself to be cast down, sir, said the nurse.
These things happen every day, remarked the lawyer.
And it is very sinful to rebel against them, whispered the clergyman.
But Mr. Nickleby motioned them all out of the room.
Embraced his wife and children.
Sunk, exhausted, into his pillow, and died.
And so, with no one in the world to help them except the wealthy Ralph Nickleby,
The widow, Mrs. Nickleby,
And her children, Nicholas
and Kate,
journeyed forth
to London.
Extra, extra, read all about it. The king is dead. Long live Queen Victoria. Extra, extra, read all about it.
extra, extra, storm walking crash, catastrophe for the city.
Read all about it. Read all about it. London gets its first railway.
Extra,